In the unpredictable landscape of the American criminal justice system, murder trial outcomes often defy expectation. Even cases with seemingly overwhelming evidence can reveal surprising complexity and nuance. A prime example is the intense legal battle involving Quaneesha Johnson, where the final decision hinged on multiple factors: jury interpretation, the persuasiveness of each side's arguments, the reliability of witness accounts, and the emotional impact of the evidence. On November 27, 2022, a life was tragically cut short when Quaneesha Johnson claimed she acted in self-defense, driven by a genuine fear for her safety. But the case posed a central question. Was it an immediate, justifiable response, or the breaking point of a woman taking justice into her own hands? Quaneesha, a 30-year-old behavioral health technician and mother of 4, including a 2-month-old infant, had moved to Lithonia, Georgia, in December 2021, leasing a 3-bedroom home in her name. About a month before the incident, she invited her former partner, Demonte Smith, to live with her. Smith, 29, was facing serious legal and financial issues and, according to reports, may have been the biological father of her infant son, a point later contested in court. The arrangement soured quickly. Quaneesha testified that Smith frequently threatened her and, in early November, escalated to violence, slamming her to the ground during an argument. This assault left her fearful. 2 weeks later, on the night of November 26th, Quaneesha went out to celebrate a friend's birthday, leaving Smith at home with 3 of her children. She promised to return by 6 a.m. but didn't. During the night, she texted Smith about a verbal altercation at the club, which unsettled him. When 6 a.m. passed without her return, his worry turned to anger. Around 9 a.m., when Quaneesha turned her phone back on, she found explicit threats from Smith promising to assault her when she got home. Frightened, she called her aunts, then joined them on a 3-way call with Smith, during which he repeated his threats. She immediately called 911, requesting a police escort to her home. Over the next 2 hours, she made multiple 911 calls, triggered her home alarm to summon officers, and even flagged down a patrol unit before finally arriving home with deputies waiting outside. When Quaneesha pulled into her driveway, deputies were there to meet her. She expressed her fear that Smith would become aggressive due to her late return, though she did not share his criminal record or show them the threatening messages. Moments later, Smith emerged carrying their infant, wearing only a diaper despite the cool weather. The sight enraged Quaneesha, sparking a loud argument in front of the officers. She accused him of not being the child's biological father, taunted him about disappearing again, and challenged him on what he would do about it. Deputies noted that she displayed particular aggression towards Smith during this exchange. They instructed both to go inside and calm down. Smith entered first, but before Quaneesha followed, body camera audio recorded her asking deputies what would happen if she shot him in self-defense. She cited his threats and prior assault, and officers told her she would have to articulate her reasons. She replied that she could. Shortly afterward, she exited the house, went to her truck, retrieved a firearm and a tire iron, then re-entered. Seconds later, a gunshot rang out. Doorbell footage captured Smith stumbling outside, telling deputies she had struck him with a metal object before shooting him. He collapsed and later died at the hospital. An Uber arranged by a friend, intended to help Smith leave, arrived just minutes after the shooting. According to prosecutors, Quaneesha first struck Smith in the head with the tire iron, then fired 1 shot into his chest, and repeatedly said goodbye as he lay injured. She was arrested at the scene and held without bond on murder charges. Quaneesha's defense team filed for immunity under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law, but Judge Shondina Morris denied the request, ruling the defense had not sufficiently justified deadly force. The trial began August 22, 2023. The prosecution argued she had planned to kill Smith, citing her retrieval of 2 weapons and an alleged statement to her child to tell police that Smith had hit her. They portrayed her as someone embarrassed by his threats in front of family and determined to end the conflict permanently. The defense countered that Quaneesha had done everything law enforcement advises, making repeated calls, waiting for officers, even flagging one down. They painted her as a postpartum mother trying to avoid violence, left unprotected by negligent police. They emphasized that Georgia law did not require her to wait for help at all, yet she did so for hours. During testimony, the prosecution's first witness, a former partner of Smith's, opened the door to character evidence, allowing the defense to reveal Smith's criminal history, including drug and firearms charges, stalking warrants, and probation violations. After deliberations, the jury found Quaneesha guilty of voluntary manslaughter and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Judge Morris sentenced her to 20 years in prison, with 15 to be served in custody and the remainder on probation.